This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Tuning in to another episode of the Big Energy, the Big Energy Room, the Big Energy Room.
You can't lose with big energy. That's real shit.
Big energy means everything. That's what big energy is.
Big Energy Room.
Today we have two very special guests, y'all. We got my boy Tay, we got my boy Lawrence of Credit Capital Keys, man. They are serial entrepreneurs, man. Survivors of some of the greatest struggles, man. They persevered to build something great. How y'all boys feeling today?
Doing amazing.
Feeling blessed.
Your spirits are doing well?
Of course.
How was your travel here? I know y'all came from out of town.
Yeah, it came from Cali. It's been good though.
Yeah. What about you?
I was in first class.
Okay.
Oh,
I love to see that. So before we start, we always start off in prayer, y'all.
all right. For sure.
Father God, come to you as humbly as ever. We thank you for another day we're able to wake up and rise to the occasion. God, I just thank you for this interaction. I pray that you lead our words and our minds, God. Continue to keep us in safe haven, God. Continue to keep us purposed, helping people, God, and living in your light. It's in Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Man, that was powerful. No, for real.
Always, look, we got to always start us off in prayer. So let me ask you this. I always start off with, what is something that you're grateful for? I'm going to start with you.
Something that I'm grateful for is, I don't want to be vague and say like life, but
Yeah.
just knowing that we have information and knowledge that a lot of people don't have access to, and we don't learn in school, that we're willing to give back and teach people.
That's dope. What about you?
I'm grateful for all the losses I ever took, because losses is what makes me want to get up and do it better next time.
Yeah. I like that. I thank God for being purposed and being able to have interactions with people like you, because having a platform is a really big deal these days, and what you do with it is even more important. So being able to have conversations like this, I appreciate y'all very much for coming out and sharing the knowledge in advance, because I feel like people are really going to learn something.
For sure, we appreciate you inviting us up.
Man, definitely. So Credit Capital Keys, tell them the story.
You wanna go?
Nah, go ahead, start off with that.
I say how it originally started, not diving into our stories and anything like that, but just Credit Capital and Keys. We both had the same mentor, Corey Haggy. I joined last June. I think he was in there a little bit longer than me.
Okay.
And just getting the foundation of just understanding, what it looks like to have your credit done, looking correct, and then what you can actually do to maximize, any endeavor you want to get into in life.
Yeah.
From there, we kind of just started making our own little side group chats and stuff like that,
Right.
working on plays together, and then we just started getting on the phone with each other, and it went from there.
That's fire. So y'all are both obviously from different cities. So how has that been navigating, building something, a business, and being in two different cities? Like, how do you guys navigate that space?
I talk to this dude like every other day. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fire.
Like whether it's business or not, like, hey yo, man, I gotta go to the store. Like it's just normal for us now. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yes, we operated day by day, skill by skill, client by client.
Yeah. So your first set of clients, obviously when you're first starting something, what are some of the major lessons that you guys learned in developing your process to get it to where you are now?
I would say starting off as us being a client,
Sure.
learning how to do it ourselves and everything like that. Getting for me, I do the credit side, so actually cleaning my credit up, positioning it the way it needed to be, and just applying everything. And then I say going into like having clients, just dealing with people, their lives and stuff like that, and understanding that they still need to prioritize this, but you have to kind of teach them in I'm trying to think of the right word, but show them that this is the priority to get you to where you want to get to, because everybody has a problem, but this is a portion that could actually solve what that problem is for you.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's taught you patience?
Overly, if I'll be patient. Overly, if I'll be patient.
For sure.
What has been the most, volatile situation where you're like, okay, let me be patient? When I say volatile, I mean like hostile. Because, when people have a problem and they're enlisting you and by paying you to solve it, sometimes it can be like they have these expectations and it doesn't really align with how it actually goes. So how do you navigate that space and have patience?
I was talking business for this.
So you hit it on the nail, like them being patient and them having expectations of how fast something should be done. And it's like, the reality is, you at whatever big age you're at, it took you this amount of time to even get in this much debt, puts you in this position. So it's like, there is no overnight success when it comes to it. I've seen within 7 days everything be cleaned off somebody's report.
Yeah.
But everybody's different. Everybody's situation is different. All of that. So just helping people understand that, like, you will see results within your first 30 days, but this is a process.
Correct.
It can take a little bit longer, but if you stick with it and stay with it, you'll get to where you want to get to.
Facts.
Yeah. And then from the business funding side of things, I don't care what you did, bro. I don't know what you did, but I know you say you need 70K by tomorrow. Listen, guys. Listen. It's a process. It's definitely a process, guys. Just tell them, like, yeah, this is what you could do. You could set this up for this play. This gonna give you 20,000. Then this might give you another 10,000. Don't come in thinking, yeah, I need 100,000, 20,000, like right now, because I need to do something. Nah, it's a process. It takes time, and then we have a class built upon teaching you how to go about it. So it's like, take the class and actually go about it instead of just trying to get something done quickly.
Yeah. I think we in such a age of instant gratification that people are not as patient with anything in life. You know, a lot of people, they'll put themselves in situations, and like a viable lesson that I learned is like, even with like mental health and healing and things like that, like when I learned the behavior, my mentor would always tell me, like, it took you this long to do it this way. And so you have to allot yourself just that much time for you to unlearn the behavior and do something differently. I think that's a very important thing to apply to everything you do in life, because like I used to be in the credit space. And so when I was in the credit space, that's something that I definitely learned from people is like, they come to you and they want you to fix something, but once they see a little bit, I think it partly is excitement. They're like, okay, cool, my credit been messed up all this time, and now look, you got me 100 points, so like, what are we doing, you know? But I think that the beauty of it too is, like you said, it taught me patience on both sides, because it's like I had to be patient enough to understand people's urgency. But on their behalf too, teaching people patience helps you learn as well. Because it's like you have to walk people through, like, nah, you gotta be cool on this. You know what I mean? Like, this is what your actual expectations is. These are what your actual time frames was. And then teaching them to get in the routine of, like, you know, this is a process. I'm doing the work. You're going to see the results, but you can't expect to be at the finish line without ever running or walking, you know?
Right, and then some people jump the gun just because, like you said, up 100 points. And then all of a sudden they start applying for stuff. And then, I got all these inquiries. And it's like, when did this even happen?
Yeah.
This wasn't, I just applied for this and got approved for it, and it's less than what I wanted. And it's like, where was the communication here?
Yeah.
So yeah, people,
it's like trusting you to fix something they don't know how to properly manage, but it's twofold, because it's like, you can't just trust me to fix the problem. You got to actually trust me to implement the solution and show you how not to do this over again.
Like, one client, that client that finally got his credit fixed and everything, got his up. He was like, I'm finna go get a truck. I'm finna go do this. I'm finna do that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that.
I used to tell people all the time, man, you got to trust the process. Like, you have to learn to do something differently. We already know you know how to measure credit up.
Yeah.
But do you know how to keep it, maintain it, grow it, and things like that? So that's very important. So your class, you mentioned that you have a class. So what are the key things that you guys are teaching people in the class, and how do you administer it? Is it like online?
Yes. So it's a school community. It's $100 a month, and we do a free credit repair for it. So, and it's 7 days free to get in. Okay, so boom, you come in there, we already doing your credit for you, and you get the build out for it. Okay, so you get the build out to what is building. So all the different credit builders, all the different things to go ahead and structure your profile the right way.
Yeah.
And then we got a whole class about how to use the ADP, how to pay yourself back, what it is to liquidate a card, different things like that. We trying to actually help you scale. We don't want a whole bunch of people in debt. We want a whole bunch of entrepreneurs.
And not only that, I'll piggyback on it. Like, it's just financial literacy in general. It's starting with credit repair and business funding, but we'll have guest speakers on there that do,
got one to do Forex trade,
Forex, stuff like that. So it's like, we're giving you opportunities to, one, get your foundation laid, and then prolong and have longevity within your wealth.
That's fire too, though, because like I used to tell people all the time, like, man, I don't really want repeat customers. I don't want you to come back and we doing this again in 6 months to a year. I'd rather see you actually elevate and utilize what you've created, the foundation that you've established, to do something that's meaningful. So that's really dope that you guys are doing that.
And we do class on Friday. So right before Everybody want to go outside.
Right.
And get,
Spend their money.
putting it right into your head right before you go to the parties, before y'all do anything. Because I know y'all go out Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We're putting it in your head right then and there. So we trying to go ahead and really stop like the whole overspending the whole thing to really
Yep.
let people chase their dreams.
Facts. And the thing about that is too, though, is it kind of builds a rapport and a trust too. So it's like as you guys are learning new things and you're building this community, I'm sure, like you guys say, you guys were in a mentor group and you got together, and now you're at this point to where you're building this, this very profitable system. It's more than just a business, like it's a system. So I love that for you guys, because it's dope, because you guys are actually living proof of that too.
Yeah.
So congratulate yourselves.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So you guys ain't always just been the credit and funding dude. So let me ask you, like, where did your story begin? And you can start whoever on whatever.
Man.
It's dark.
So I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I guess I could give up. I could be real with y'all. Okay, so like my story really started like in sales, honestly. So I always sold a lot of stuff in school and everything like that. I sold a lot of candy and everything like that. Like
Fire.
and like I used to be the one person that I used to sell candy. I used to sell condoms. I used to sell everything but drugs.
Wait.
I would be real with you. I just sell everything but drugs type thing, and that's just the truth of the matter type thing. So that's always how I've been. Always try to do things the right way
Yeah.
and try to get to the same point. Like all my homeboy was selling weed and everything. Okay, let me see if I could sell enough M&Ms, Reese's packs, and Gatorades. Like I had an ice pack in my duffel bag in school.
That's
I had a
fire.
whole ice pack. Like they be like, "Dad, it's cold, colder than the ones in the thing." And the principal called me up there one day. He was like, "You're stealing." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm selling."
You're right.
You robbing the school. They don't want to go to the vending machines no more.
Dang, I would have never even thought about that.
Yeah, actually.
That's fire though. I mean, even to have that mindset though, especially when like influences everything. So a lot of times it's easy, especially when you see folks getting their money off how they getting their money, man. It's easy to fall. So that's dope that you stayed that course. What about you?
For me, I grew up playing football, so
Okay.
I always, the typical athlete or just any guy, any boy kind of be a man. Like you want to do whatever it is that you can to be able to retire your mom. So I thought that was gonna be the route. COVID happened. I ended up getting into Forex, but I was doing like the MLM mixed with it. So everybody swears it's a scam and everything. It's two sides of it, but it was basically put together. So nobody really knew like what trading was.
Right.
They just thought it was the network marketing, just recruit. But it's actual industry that people are making millions of dollars every single day.
Yeah.
So I did that for a little bit, and I was more so heavy on the recruiting side because I was blowing money
Yeah.
in the market.
It's
So
honest.
it's like I'm gonna pick up this phone call and go, lock in some more people so I can get that next check the next week and try again.
Yeah.
But after a while, I got tired of that. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, I kind of get over people a little bit. Is like I get drained, and it's just like, okay, cool. So being in that side of it and having sales and stuff, I was like, I don't want to do this like long term. So I kind of got out of that. But once I realized that credit was something that is needed, the foundation for a lot of stuff, I was like, okay, this is all right.
Yeah. And it's always a benefit too when you find something that's like a need and then you figure out a way to sell it and then, properly market it. So that's fire.
Problem solving.
Problem solving.
That part. So it seems like sales was a big thing between you two. So is that where you guys feel like you found your chemistry and being comfortable enough to build a business together?
I'm be honest with you. I feel like we found that chemistry just with the trauma that we both did. Because there's not a lot of young people that have been through what me and Tay been through type thing. So, and been able to like survive it type thing.
So tell me, delve into that. Like, what have you been through?
So for me, I was Ubering late night, just trying to hustle, get my money up and everything like that. And the car like was following me. And they shot at me and everything. Maybe just because they wanted my car type thing. And they shot like my whole left side of my whole left side of my body. So I was on bed rest. And everything like that. And then I had my nieces and nephews, sisters and everything was like they seen it type thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of traumatic for my whole family. And then I got nieces and nephews that look up to me. It's like, damn, so it almost kind of hurt me.
Yeah.
It really hurt me more on the inside than on the outside. And then like going through all of that pain and everything like that, I'm just in my room now, like doctors around me and everything, just in my room, doctor coming to visit. And I see this video of a dude in the track hawk pulling up, talking about credit repair and business funding. And I'm just looking like, looking like, okay, I'll tap in. I'll see what's up. I see what's up. Tapped in. He like $2,000. I'm like, nigga, I'm shot. Like, I'm like, nigga, I need money. And at the time, my job fired me because I wasn't able to go to work.
Yeah.
I can't walk.
How long were you on bed rest?
I was on bed rest for like 3-4 months.
How was that having to sit down like that?
Man, it
Mentally?
was mentally, it was paranoid. It was really, really paranoid because you don't know shit. You don't know who did it. You don't know what it is. You don't know what the reason is. All you know is, boom, I'm shot. I'm fucked up. I can't pay shit. I got bills to pay and shit.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing. And then I don't even have a fucking car now. So everything is just like, fuck, like, what the fuck you gonna do? So that's just real. So I took that chance. I was like $2,000. I was like $2,000. And I'm on this consultation call with my mentor and everything. I'm looking like, he like, yeah, it's gonna be worth it, man. It's gonna be worth it. I'm looking like, nigga, I don't know. I don't know. $2,000 sound crazy. So he let me in off a little deal or whatever. And yeah, I got in, started learning, started structuring it. You know, rest is fast.
Period. Do you feel like that was a contributor to like staying out of depressive states? Because I can imagine like having to sit down and then you're incapacitated. Finances are not where you want them to be. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to curate like a new approach to things. Because obviously, if you're having paranoia, I'm sure you're like, man, F this DoorDash. Like, I ain't doing that no more. Because I mean, who would have think that somebody gonna fire you off DoorDash? That's crazy, you know? So do you feel like discovering this new, you know, way for you to not only like position yourself, but also kind of like see a business out of it? Do you feel like that kind of helped you stay out of like getting into major depressions, or did you experience them and have to kind of like walk yourself out of that?
Yeah, so when it comes to like major, like just when it comes to depression, period, I had never been a person to be like, all right, yeah, I'm depressed. Like I could be $100,000 in debt. I could be fucked up, shot up. I could have been anything. I'm one of them people like I gotta be gone for you to like for me to actually stop.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized, man, the people that go through the most shit be the strongest motherfuckers. And you don't want to mess with those motherfuckers. Like 50 Cent, for example. 50 Cent been to hella shit. But you don't want to get on his bad side.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Their boundaries be different, you know. When you seen different stuff, you kind of know and develop a different type of preparedness. And so it's like, I've seen this before.
Like spidey senses.
You know what I'm saying? And so it teaches you to deal with people in a different manner. Like, that was a great example because that's somebody who, you know, he's a Cancer.
Yeah.
He's born on 7/6. He's very, people will consider it to be emotional, but I think it's a low tolerance. I think it's knowing that people have put you in these positions and you may have handled it a certain way. You may have extended a certain degree of grace, and you're realizing, like, I feel like people will know not to play with him because they know that you'll take it there. It's unfortunate sometimes because, like me, I'm a firm believer in, like, my silence is deadly. Like, I won't give you access to me. I'm not going to say the worst thing, only because I feel like what you put out in the atmosphere is a contributor to what you get back. So if I'm just around here just saying the worst things to people, I try to be very mindful of my words. Yeah. But I understand his position is what I was getting at, because it's like there are times where even me, I'll be like, if I show you something, you will not forget it. It's something you won't be able to unsee. I think for me as a woman, though, you know, it probably different for a man.
I mean, shoot.
Men feel like they got a little bit more muscle.
I'll be honest. As a man, a man is something scary to play with. I'll say that just because, like, as a female, I feel like a female, you kind of know where they're coming from immediately. As a man, a lot of men done been through a lot of things, and they literally can't act on their thing. They're really not supposed to show their emotions like that, right?
Yeah.
So you can't never really know what exactly a man is gonna be on. Yeah, he might act like it's cool, but there's plenty of dudes that act like it's cool. Yeah. And later, 2-3 years, like, boom, like, XYZ is this that time type thing. So it's very
long game.
Man has to play the long game.
Yeah.
That's what they're trained to do.
Yeah. That's why we got this platform, though, too, because that is something that I do hope that I could facilitate, like, a balance for, because you shouldn't have to not be able to discuss the things that hurt you. You should have a safe place to where you can articulate that, because although you're dealing with a logical side of your brain 90% of the time, you might proceed with that, you still have an emotional side that's playing a factor on the way you may process logic. So even though you feel like you're being strategic about it, sometimes the things that you've been through and the traumas that you carry, they can be harbored and built down so deep that you get the wrong trigger, and then now you're acting what you call would be logically, but it's really emotionally. You're just not calling it emotional. You know what I mean? So I do think it's important, like, especially as Black men, to find safe spaces to where, whether it's therapy, whether it's, you know, a good friend, whether it's your mother, you know, whether it's your girl, like, to where you can literally be vulnerable. Because even sometimes it's not to get a response. Like, I started to learn from people when I'm asking them about, like, what they going through, how your spirit doing, like, now, how are you navigating that? And do you want me to respond when you tell me?
Yeah.
Some people just want to get it off their chest.
Yeah.
You know? And I think dealing with men, too, I've learned that a man don't always want you to respond.
Yeah.
Sometimes a man just wants to be heard. He wants to have the opportunity to say the thing that when he's out in the world and he got all that armor on and, you know, he big, bad, and bougie, like, he can't articulate that. He want to be able to come down and lay all that stuff on the line. I've learned that even in relationships that sometimes I'll be wanting to fix things. And so I know I have a good opinion.
Yeah.
But I really, really, really learned the discipline of being quiet because y'all really be needing that. Even the fact that you just said that, like, men can't be emotional. No, you do have emotions, and you're just as human as a woman. You're showcasing your emotions is not any less important than me being able to be emotional and cry to you when I'm upset.
But you heard look, that's a key thing they really stick with. I know it's like a little bit off topic, but look, that's a real thing. Like whenever you get in an argument with your man or something like that, it's about listening. Make sure that both of y'all are getting that out, okay? Because if he goes off with that same thing, like he ain't get off his chest, anything, he could take that to anywhere, any place.
Yeah, this is true. Let me ask you this, because then we're going to get to you. Let me ask you this, both of y'all. Feel free to chime in. Like, as a man, when you have stepped out on your woman, do you feel like the lack of emotional support has been something that has fueled that? Like, outside of just want to get off on, you know, XYZ or hey, your way because the opportunity presents itself, like, do you feel like that's a contributor, not being able to be heard in your relationship?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's certain things. I feel like it's different for all men, but I feel like it's really only two big reasons. It's either that the man can't do something that he know he's supposed to do, or the man is trying to conceive something, trying to tell you exactly what he feels, and he's not being heard. And if he feels like he's not being heard, you got to go somewhere where he does feel heard.
I respect that. What are things that you guys feel like, and I want both of y'all to answer, like, that indicate you're being heard? When you're talking to a person, like me and you are talking, what are things that you get from a person that's supposed to be listening to you that lets you know, like, oh, they get it?
Body language.
Okay.
I say being able to read that, and then not being on the phone, because nowadays folks can't get off their phone.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that is a huge pet peeve of mine. Like, for me, you have the opportunity to be on your phone all day. If it's not no money coming, like, even there's a time and place for that.
Right.
With your partner, you have to have a space to where it's just no phones and communication, because you'll just never know. Like, sometimes I'll sit in silence, you know, with my dude, and we'll sit back and it'll be like, all of a sudden we'll just start talking. But it'd be like that moment couldn't happen if we was just so engulfed in our phone that, like, even me, I'll find myself, like, when I know somebody is saying something important to me, or like I catch their vibrate energy, I just be like this. I want you to know I'm listening and supporting to me. Like, that phone ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Them calls.
It's also a sign of respect too, because it's like,
For real.
okay, and the whole time they tell you something important, and then you just
Missed it.
blindly scrolling or whatever, and then they ask you a question, now you can't, and then now it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so they feel some type of way, and it's like the whole time all you had to do is just put the phone down.
Facts. And then, too, you know, it'll make people, like, shut down. Like, I don't even want to even keep talking. You ain't listening to me anyways. I'm going to just be quiet.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm one of the people that I believe in, like, people doing multiple things at once. So
Yeah.
I don't really care. It's always about the eye contact.
Facts.
It's like, I don't care what you're doing. You can have your phone in your hand. If your eyes stay visually onto my eyes,
Yeah.
I know that you're actually listening.
I feel that. I feel that. Because you can still have it around, you know what I mean? But just at least let me know that there's a sincerity to you that cares about what I'm saying.
Right.
I think that's what it be with being listening to. Your body language, your tone, your responsiveness too. Because you can tell by the way a person responded if he was actually listening to what I said and you retained it, you know? So I think all those are important factors. But I just was curious about that because I know a lot of men, like, even expressing, like, we can't be emotional, like, that's probably a very important thing that men are looking for when they're dealing, you know, with a woman, especially a man who is an entrepreneur. Like, it's very important. Like, I got to talk out something with you.
Man,
Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
and I'll tell you right now, man that are entrepreneurs, I telling you, if y'all female and you messing with an entrepreneur, it's gonna it's gonna be times you gotta settle there and settle on because as an entrepreneur, you're going through many things. You're
Yeah.
going through finances. You're going through the headspace. What should you do? What shouldn't you do?
Yeah.
You're going through all of that. Then at the same time, you're dealing with a female that's like, okay, most females they all want female things. They still want to go on dates. They still want to do all this regular
Yeah.
stuff. In his head, most entrepreneurs is like, okay, I need to do this first.
Yeah.
I need to get this done. I need to do this. I need to do that.
Entrepreneur gonna be thinking about how you gonna get the money to pay for what you're looking for at first.
You feel
Tight,
me?
right?
Just spending it first. Let me make it, so I don't gotta worry.
There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta learn the proper balance of that though.
Yeah.
Because when you know that you in the business of making money, the money is gonna come. So I think it's important as an entrepreneur to know time and place too.
True.
Facts. So we highlighted your story, and look, let me just say this: I'm very proud that you're still here. I'm happy that you overcame your paranoia and whatever discomfort you associated with it, and I'm happy to see that you're navigating the space of helping other people because you probably keeping people from having to put themselves in that position. You know?
I'm trying to.
Nah,
It's really
you doing it.
bro.
You doing it. Talk to yourself different. You're doing it.
I'm doing.
Even if you're not all the way where you set the goalpost, you're doing it because you're on your way. You're getting up every day and you're doing the work. So just know that. So your story, where'd you come from? How'd you come to this place?
So I done moved around a lot most of my life.
Yeah.
Grew up in California up until 19, moved to Vegas, then moved to Houston, wanted to do YouTube and stuff like that. And out there, the living situation wasn't the best. I moved with family.
Mhm.
We was actually homeless for the first 2 months of being out there. My grandmother was supposed to close on a house.
Yeah.
And me not knowing nothing about anything at the time, nobody knew what was going on but her. So she ended up taking out a loan before, and the whole closing process, you can't
do anything yet.
Exactly. So she didn't tell nobody until it was too late.
Mhm.
And at this point, we in Holiday Inns and hotels for 2 months straight and everything like that, and then had to move into an apartment. We was there. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to do the YouTube thing. I'm actually networking, and everything like that. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
It's just hustling, getting to it, but it's a process with everything.
Right.
It's not YouTube for sure is not gonna pay right away.
Definitely.
So I started leaning towards doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I done tried everything.
Right.
And none of it worked.
Yeah.
And one of the
That's real though.
Yeah, trying to chase fast money, and that's what ended up kind of getting me shot at. But got to a point where I ended up having to move out of the apartment with my peoples, because we actually were about to get evicted. I was the only one on time paying rent every single month.
Damn.
Everybody else doing whatever they doing, and I'm still outside doing all the things I'm doing. And me and my grandmother actually got into an argument over a car and just stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm good, I'm gone, I'll figure it out. I moved in with this girl that I was cool with, and doing YouTube and stuff like that. I was with her and these two other people every day.
Yeah.
And they made it seem like they was really genuinely there for me. I tell you, Thanksgiving, I'm at both these girls' family's house and stuff like that.
Right.
Christmas Day, I'm with their family and stuff because I didn't really have too much family in Houston. They ended up being the ones that ended up setting me up and getting me shot at. So it's the closest people to me at that time, in the most vulnerable time of my life, were the ones that betrayed me.
Yeah.
And the person that shot at me, I know exactly. So I know all three parties. And the annoying part was I hear you. I understand I might be walking into a setup, but it was I just got a job out there. I ain't had no clothes. So I'm what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I ain't had no money at the time. So I'm I gotta make it. So I'm boom, I'm gonna just go early. I know this girl's schedule. Pop in, pop out, and then keep going.
Right.
When the other girl pulled up, boom, like I said, energy off. They went into the room, start, politicking, whatever. She come out, she announced it too, and whatever, and I just walk out. See somebody, I'm all black. Mind you, this is 10 o'clock in the morning in Houston.
Right.
At an apartment complex. All black, put it up, walk in the direction I have to go. The Uber texting me oh, blah, blah, blah. The gate's locked, whatever the case may be. Or not locked, but it's not working. So I'm hitting them back. Okay, I gotta go back. I'm on the way up there. I got 2 suitcases, a backpack, and on and everything like that.
Yeah.
By the time I send that text, I hear a warning shot in the air. Look up. This dude, I say from here, probably a little further than the Christmas tree. But the gun pointed at me. Then all of a sudden he shoot again. I I dropped everything and I took off. I ran out of my shoes.
Yeah.
Jumped over the gate, and I'm running a wooded dirt lot, anything like that, to the front. I get into the Uber, feet bloody, and to answer your question of how I felt, betrayed instantly, it threw me because it's like I was expecting something like this, but I was like my beef or whatever was going on between me and him. So the fact that y'all inserted yourselves into it, knowing that y'all want to be my best friend and you my little brother, this and the third, with y'all family on holidays where I'm supposed to be with family, for y'all to spin back and do that, it was like I didn't understand it. I can get it, but I'm like I can't trust nobody at that point.
Yeah.
That's what it showed me. And it was hard. I relived that moment for months. I was working at FedEx, like I was saying, in the back of the truck overnights, packing trucks and stuff. And all I hear is silence. But it's like I'm reliving the same thing over and over.
Looking over your shoulder, all that type. Yeah.
And I had to get out of that. And that was the turning point, because it's okay, nothing, fast money wise is making sense.
Yeah.
And I knew I shouldn't have been doing that. I always knew, I always prayed, I always had a relationship with God, but that's what really turned me, to okay, you take the wheel.
Yeah.
I disappeared from social media, everything like that. So when we have conversations, I'd be like, I don't know if I even want to be known to a certain extent and be on, in the limelight. Cause it's I'd rather just make my money and just,
be low type shit.
Exactly. But still help people. But it's just I don't want to be known for this and,
Yeah.
I have to worry about constantly looking over your shoulder. Cause you always got to anyway. Anything can happen to
Fact.
anybody. But yeah.
Boom. So, number one, congratulations on the fact that you overcame that. Because dealing with people, I feel like the violation of having people who you're used to being around every day,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Having them violate you in that way, especially shooting at you, is crazy. Navigating the space of kind of recovering from that can be difficult. And you yourself, just like I told bro, you're building something that matters off of that. You turn that in, your pain into purpose, and that's a really big thing, and I congratulate you on that as well.
Appreciate it.
So, question that I have is, as you know, having trust issues is a really big thing. It's a big topic of discussion for people. So I like to hear how when you guys introduced yourselves to each other amongst being in the same group, how did you navigate the space of learning to do business with a person and having trust issues, and building something that it sounds like was set to save both of you from the financial positions you were in?
Right. I would say for me, it was just knowing that we like-minded. We are on the same path and journey of knowing what we want and all of that. But for the most part, before I was hanging out with people that was doing anything. So it's kind of knowing, somebody has a purpose versus, kind of just floating and you just being around, just trying to figure it out with them and anything like that versus somebody that knows what they want out of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Then for me, it would be more of just being able to like that bond over everything that we done been through. I feel like that's the biggest point, because I got a lot of different friends that do a lot of different things. They done overcame a lot of different things, and I feel like it's the fact that we know what we overcame, so we know what we could do now. We know how to move now. So now it's when it's like you pick up on, it's just like a best friend thing almost. It's almost all right, babe. If somebody say something out of line, or say something wrong, or do something weird, y'all literally had that thing where you just look at each other and be like, yeah. I know, and I know people done did it before. Hey, bro, you see, all right, yeah, yeah.
So how did you end up in the mentor group? Because I know you were in a hospital building. So how did you come about the information?
So full circle, the Forex. So he was actually at the time before it kind of all died out and everything like that. Toward the end of the pandemic, he was one of my mentors' friends, and I've seen him a few times and everything like that. So it was a familiar face. And just knowing we were in the same space, same industry at one point, and then when I was hearing about him, I was actually supposed to start when he first got into the credit space. Didn't have the finances, dealing with that stuff and everything like that in Houston. And I was on people got text blasts and stuff like that. And I finally got hit with one. And it was just, he was talking about how you can, get $100K funding in XYZ. And I was like, okay, bet. Because everything's kind of looped back to trading for me. That was my second love after football. just knowing that like you can make money from your phone, you kind of do whatever you need to and not have to answer to nobody. So that was the reason I got into it, to get my credit fixed up and everything like that. But yeah, that's how that started. Yep.
And then me, I'll be honest. Ever since I was younger, I just wanted to own a whole bunch of businesses and just live my life.
Yeah.
So
That's fire. That's fire. So growing up and coming from where you guys come from and your upbringings and things, like, what was like the thing about the credit space that made you feel like it was possible? Like all of the things you've ever dreamt of doing and participating in and having access to, like, what about this industry made you feel like it could be the thing?
I say for me, knowing that credit's the foundation for finances, right? Knowing that we didn't learn it and it was gatekept was something that like intrigued me, because it's like, why is only select people winning in this, area of life and everything like that? But then not only that, when it comes down to like, you hear the stuff about Trump and he evades taxes and stuff like that. So just seeing stuff and then realizing, like, starting to piece it together, like, okay, he has businesses. There's certain ways you can move and, move around legitimately that might look unethical to the outside world, but you're just not educated on it, and you can make those moves to get to where you need to get to. And then, especially when it comes down to it, like, you can open up multiple LLCs and get that funded if you have that right credit profile.
Right.
it was good. Me, I just knew it was the key immediately at the beginning. It was. I stacked up multiple things. I'm looking like, he tried to charge me $2,000. I just told this nigga I was shot. So I was just like, I don't have no job, bro. Bro was like, yeah, bro, it's worth it. So it was that right there, and then it was the fact that I started like looking into everything that you could do with credit and things like that. Right. And I started finding out that people could buy houses with it and everything, and people could start businesses with it and everything. And once I started figuring out that, then it was like, oh yeah, this is the game. And then I started learning what finances really was. Yeah. How do people get approved for banks? What is a DSCR loan? What is that? And it all came right back to credit.
Yeah.
It's like a lit rabbit hole. I'm not gonna lie, because
it's always something new to learn.
Or Pandora's box. You open it, and it's like, oh, this is all of it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, I could definitely dabble and make this work in the way I need it to.
Nice. Oh, that's fire though. Do you guys feel like there's an excitement to it that keeps you kind of wanting to learn more, as you mentioned, like it being a rabbit hole?
Yeah, because it's always something new, but I'll say just constantly knowing that people don't know this, and then like when I speak to people older than me, younger than me, just randomly outside and stuff, and they're not aware of their financial position, certain things like not needing to put down payments on card and stuff like that. Like, they don't realize they're paying more. Life is more expensive for them for the simple fact that they don't have their foundation right. Yeah.
Man.
So did either of you come from backgrounds with your family and stuff that anybody had good credit?
So my people didn't need credit. My pops was actually, he's a born again hustler, so he had businesses, he had salons and things like that. Yeah. He had houses and things like that. Just born hustler, just getting out the mud, connecting with people and everything, like the old way before there was phones and everything like that. So he literally meeting different people every day. Okay, how can this help me? How can this help me? How can that help me? So my pops already had that instilled like within himself and everything like that. And when I got older, it was like, all right, I need this, and that. How am I gonna make it? And I'm the last child. Okay. So
how many siblings you got?
Man, how many siblings I know? No. No.
Hey, look, that's a real thing.
That's the right answer though.
Hey,
I never know.
For real though. But on my mama's side, I got my 5 older siblings, and on my pop's side, you go probably around 11 or 12.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you come from a long line of siblings.
Yeah. So I come from a long line of people that. And I'll admit this. I will admit this. It's my family and everything like that. They are some people that in my family that did some really great things. That did some amazing things.
That's amazing.
I know, and that's true. But I go by, I'm the last one. Yeah. And if I could figure it out, and I see my other brothers and sisters not doing it, but I see all my cousin doing it here, like, once I seen all of that, I was like, okay, I gotta do this for the family. I gotta do this.
Facts. how have you guys both navigated? Because being in this space, having access to something that, you know, we really weren't equipped with off rip, you know, it can bring on some sort of ill feelings and temperaments from people who you grew up with, who are used to you being at a certain level. And then when you elevate and have access, you know, some people think you're acting funny, think you're better than us. So, like, how do you guys navigate those type of relationships? Do you let them go? Do you find a balance? Like, how do you work through that?
I'm working on it, but after that situation, I've been quick to cut people out. I don't got that's zero tolerance for it. Like anything that's not anybody that doesn't have high vibrations or working towards something. I still do have like childhood friends that I grew up with that I'm still trying to, you know, help and show the way, and they actually believe in what I'm doing. Yeah. So that makes it easier because we actually can have conversations about it, even though they're not actively, you know, in the same space or working on it. There's still a support system. Yeah. For sure.
That's dope. What about you?
Ain't gonna like my answer.
But no, listen, ain't no right answer right here.
Look. I if I'm being completely honest with anybody and everybody in my friends, family, they can see this and everything. I have always been always been a top shooter. I always been one of those people that been like, okay, if I'm not making enough money, I need to do more. I need to figure it out, or I need to do this, I need to do that. And I have always been a person to hustle for it. And people know that. Yeah. There was no way I'm not going to say what type of car I had or what everything, but 18, 19, 20, there was no way I was supposed to have what I had, do what I was doing. I was under 21 making $25 an hour. Yeah. So that's $4,000 a week, just so y'all, because I need some quick math. So $4,000 a week in St. Louis at a low point, like, I'm making a lot doing that, and then a lot of people like older than me, so I have always been one of the type of people to stretch it out. Okay, what can I do? What's this? How can I get here? And how can I get there? Yeah. So that's literally my whole stigma when it comes to anything. And I love it. Like, yeah. even when I get with him, I get with friends or anything, they be like, they will straight laugh at me if I lose on anything like that. Like, and I love it because I'll get up again and again and again. And he just seen this morning, we was laughing about something yesterday. And he was like, yeah, that was crazy. That was L. That was straight L. So he looked up this morning, he was like, yeah, he did that. Yeah. He did that.
It took me a second to realize what he was talking about. Yeah.
But look, we gonna talk about it. But like that's I said, that like look, you see it on his face, though. You see it on his face, though.
Shooter's gonna shoot. You know, you just got to keep putting the reps in. So yeah. Whatever it is, like
you only need one shot to go in order to put a score. Shots on that board. That's what I always say. You're going to keep shooting. Once you put that shot up, it's third up. Yeah. Ain't nobody taking it back.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Big energy, words of advice. Y'all clocked that. Okay. No, but I think that's very important to persevere. That's why it's like a lot of people, the instant gratification that we're in this society, man, they see where you're at. A lot of people don't understand where you started from and how you got where you're going. And I think that that's an important part of the process. Especially, you know, like I said, being men, because it's a lot of things that you have to navigate emotionally while you're still trying to persevere through spaces that aren't always kind to you. You know, they don't always want to just give out the information. Sometimes, you know, people want to whip holes. Sometimes people, they get a sort of like, you know, happiness from seeing you struggle or seeing you not be able to persevere. So I'm happy that you guys are both in a space where it's like you understand the grit and grind and you're willing to do the work, like no matter what it takes, because not everybody is with that. Like a lot of people just want the result. They don't actually want to, you know, take the steps necessary. So.
No, most definitely. And what I'll say about that too is like we've, you know, invested in courses, invested in mentors and stuff like that. And one thing that we realized, like sometimes you really have to vet people. Yeah. Cause just it sound good, it look good. But just because of that, like, don't mean that the packaging, you know, the packaging may look good, but what's inside really isn't. Yeah. So, you know, trial and error with that. A lot of people will go through like, oh, I got scammed, I got da-da-da-da, and then quit all because they paid through, you know, they paid for the wrong message. They paid for the right message, but the wrong messenger, I would say. So
I want y'all to retain that. It's very important to understand who the messenger is when you get in the message. But sometimes too, like even in faith, like you'll have the human nature of like, let's say a pastor come out, man, He might have said the most crazy stuff. Where he's coming from, it might have been the message you needed, but you can't take heed to it because it's the person. Go ahead.
Let's speak on it. Okay, when it comes to mentorship, guys, or investing into anything, guys, understand this. Mentorship at any level is only going to be what you make of it, guys, okay? So you could pay for a mentorship that's $10,000, $100,000. We're going to talk about it because I done did that. But you can pay for that and understand this. Understand this one thing: when you invest in it, it only gonna take you as far as you're gonna take it. That $10,000 mentorship may not be worth $10,000 to you, but to another person, it might make him $1 million. That $10,000 mentorship might make you $5,000, might make you $2.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you gotta understand that it's very important to vet and really look at everything, and then before you make an investment, understand, is it really for me?
Yeah. I think that's the same with like real life situations, man. Like some people, you know, they carry too much of the trauma and not enough of the lessons learned in the experience. You know what I mean? Like even if you get a mentor that they oversell and they underdeliver on certain parts of what you were expecting to get. Like if you take your expectations out of it and you really just properly vet, like, okay, but what did I take from this? You can find value in everything you do. So I love that you highlighted, like, it's really what you do with it, because you might get more from one person, you might get more from another person. Sometimes it's people, like you said, tone of voice. Sometimes it's the way they present the information. Like, not everybody is good at talking about what they know.
Yeah.
So I think that even in properly vetting, even me, like I've gone to go take different courses and mentorships with people, and I learned too, like, and it's probably sound like a little Star Wars, but I gotta watch people for a while.
Yeah.
I gotta see, like, how are you when you're on live? Like, how are you when you do in person? I think it's even important to like pay for people's little in person events, or when they have a free event, like just to catch a vibe for what type of frequency they're on, because you want to make sure that everybody, even the people you're learning from, like a very good friend of mine, Peasy, he had told me, he is like, man, you got to be around people who you admire.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can't find any admiration in the person that you are, it's like, how can I learn anything from you? Because the information might be good, but who you are and how you're presenting it just might not be the best messenger for me. Don't mean I can't take nothing away from that, but I might take a key point and be like, you know what? I'm going to find somebody who can break this down for me differently, because I don't want to miss the message because I'm not vibing with your frequency, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that definitely.
Didn't I talk about that earlier, though?
Yeah, you did. One of the key things you said about like meeting them in person and getting that vibe, you also get to see like everything, like body language, how they interact with people when they're not on stage, because when all eyes is on them, obviously you're gonna happen, right?
Right.
So now it's like you get to actually see how they maneuver and everything like that, how they speak with people, everything like that. So now it's like you get the full picture, like, okay, I might be able to, you know, work and rock out with this person, especially if you resonate with them, like you were saying.
Facts. I think some people, especially in that mentorship space, man, people have to know the difference between a boss and a leader. Mm-hmm. Like, a boss is good at giving direction. Right. They're not always good at taking you through the process of the behind the scenes and then deliverable. You know what I mean? Whereas a leader, they're going to factor into the strengths and weaknesses of every person that they come around and learn and develop you into changing those weaknesses into strengths, or things that are at least manageable enough to where they're not holding you back, they're propelling you forward.
Right.
So I think it's important to learn that too. I had to definitely learn that, because some people, they talk good. Money might be long. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the charisma of how they actually handle people and develop people, it's like, yeah, you probably could have sold an ebook, you know, let somebody read the information, but actually being a person who is responsible for coaching and leading, that takes a real leader. You can't just be a person who just say, hey, go do this. You got to understand and be able to articulate. That's why even when I'm talking to you guys, I'm like, okay, what was your emotional state when you're overcoming these things? Because those are the things people need to know.
And a leader gonna lead from the front. They're gonna show you the work. They're gonna show you they putting in the work. That's the difference between you just working a regular job and, you know, they telling you what to do.
Facts.
You read the script. Okay, this is a job description. Boom. You do this, and then you're on your way. Versus somebody that's actually in the paint with you, showing you, okay, this is really how you do it. Boom. This is how you take a call. You know, a consultation. This is how you format everything. The whole nine. So now it's like, you don't have to go through and mess up the way you would if you did it on your own, because from a boss, you really just doing everything on your own. Yeah. You know, from a leader, they're actually showing you, and now it's receipts of everything, so you can actually see how to do it.
I feel like there's a different degree of transparency, too. Like, when you're a leader, like, anybody who I've ever considered to be a leader for me, they've had that knack for like being vulnerable. You know, not everybody's gonna just tell you everything right up front, but they'll be vulnerable to their weaknesses more than their strengths, because typically that's what they're learning and developing and growing on. And because they're in the discipline, like you said, actually doing it, they can help you do the same thing because they're walking that same path.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's like the biggest thing that man that you got to understand, guys. What is a teacher and what is a mentor? A mentor is somebody that done been through the same things that you've been through and able to talk you through it and able to get you the results. A teacher is somebody that teaches. How many times have you been in school? I'm in school learning business. That teacher never had a business before. Like, does that make sense? Yeah. How many times you got I'm teaching accounting class, teacher never been an accountant before. It makes no sense. Yeah. When you getting a mentor, just like me and Dante, we done learned how to leverage that. We done learned how to build from nothing, and we're young, so we done learned how to build it for nothing with no credit age at all.
Yeah,
that's real.
And we come up with our own plays and then run up and troubleshoot. Like,
oh man,
try it yourself. That's real though, because like I believe it's important to get up and get out in the field, especially in the space that you're in, because that's how you can master it. You know, if you get too hell bent on just circulating information, hey, do this, I feel like you get very robotic.
Yeah, and
if you're constantly learning and growing, you're gonna come off different.
Yeah, and then a lot of the information is regurgitated, so it's kind of like you gotta use what's between your ears. Like, you gotta kind of think about, like, okay, boom, this makes sense, but how can I, like, there's gotta be another way to do this, probably more efficient, or to scale it. And we'll bounce ideas off each other and be like, okay, let's try this. Boom, this plus that. Okay, this might work. Let's see.
But what do you feel like are 3 strengths that each of you possess that help you to be successful in this arena?
We opposites. I say that for sure.
I overthink a lot when it comes to business. My mind is always focused on like different ways to do something. Yeah. Because like I've honestly unfollowed a lot of people in this space just because like my feed will be the same play from 30 different people, and then a lot of times it's the reaction ones, and I'm like, bro, like, so I always try and.
What they be doing?
Yeah.
No, it's not outside.
All the time, I'd be like, bro, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, and just doing your own research, like you get the format of what it is. Like there's a website called iBankNet, right?
Yep, iBankNet,
and it's across all 50 states. You can go click find local banks in your city, in your state, near you, and then just research. So I'll go on there looking for credit cards, which ones have the lowest APR, which ones have different features and stuff like that nobody really talks about or hears about. And then that's stuff that we'll implement, because at the end of the day, like, you only, Chase been burnt out. Mm-hmm. They know. The employers is watching the videos at work, like,
okay, hey, see this?
Yeah, like, so, you're not reinventing the wheel, but you're using the access and information that you have, that you provided, to just streamline everything and just, be unique and do you versus.
So, you being in the space, so you'd say innovativeness then, like being able to be innovative outside of that. That's fire.
And understand this, guys. When y'all doing y'all little, y'all little 1-2s and mentorships and everything like that. Understand this. Anybody that tells you how to get something or go somewhere with something, or they tell you all of these. How many people that told you, hey, you can do credit repair? Do they tell you exactly what's off and happen within it? How many people that told you about business funding? Have they told you what happens if you don't pay that loan back? Yeah. Have they told y'all, oh yeah, if you don't pay this, this, and this? Guys, I'll let y'all know right now, just off the record, because I know some of y'all are in debt or whatever. But when you're in debt and everything, guys, y'all can call them. You can call that company or that company or establishment, and you could call them and ask them to settle your debt for 30% or 50% of what the actual debt was. Yeah. Therefore, you've taken the actual steed and the step forward into getting out of debt. Okay, guys. So it's many ways to do it. Okay, so don't ever think that this is it, this is that. I'm be honest with y'all. That life is the only game. Is the only game that you play, and you can't lose until you die.
That's real.
I like that. I like that perspective. So you got overthinking, innovativeness. What would be your third character trait that contributes to building this up?
Damn, I don't know.
It's cool. Look, you think about yours and then go to you.
What else question?
What are 3 characteristics about yourself that contribute to you being successful in this arena, like in building this business?
Well, number one, which y'all probably know from which I just heard, but number one, never give it up.
Yeah.
Never giving up. Like I done hit some banks. If I had like 10 banks, got declined. I was like, all right, say no more. I'm gonna hit another 10 banks. Literally, I have that non-giving up spirit. A lot of people know that. So you got that. That's number one. Number two, I have due diligence. Why? Because I've been effed over. I've been played with before. I done seen a lot of different things, and I done seen a lot of other people get played over and everything. And what is there ever another way? What is my options? A lot of y'all don't think about your options, which is why y'all keep making other bad decisions. Guys, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Does it make sense to drop a check for $30,000, $40,000, and you're gonna have to pay that shit back? You're going to have to pay it back, guys. They know that you did the shit.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to drop a check when you could get a loan or a credit card that you ain't got to pay back for 12 to 18 months?
Yeah.
I'd rather have 18 months of freedom and fuck up some money than or actually build with it. Actually build, because 18 months is enough time to buy real estate, to do a whole bunch of things. Then it just be like, hey, here's this $30,000 check. Give me 10% off of it. Let me get most of the damn check.
Yeah.
Like, think about it, guys. I'm just saying, all these scams and everything like that, bro. Everything that y'all done did, y'all not valuing y'all options or what y'all doing.
You know what, too, though? Just to touch on that, it a lot of times is, and that's why I love the space that you guys are in on, not just doing the service, but like actually educating people too. Because a lot of times it's just people not knowing.
Yeah.
The attitude of not knowing something and not knowing that there's an option for that, it will limit your options. And so a lot of times people make decisions, and you could deem them as being irrational when you're looking from the outside in, but it's really a survival tactic. You know, they're making a decision that they feel like best suits where they're at right now, thinking that this is all they have, not realizing it's something over here in the right hand. You know what I'm saying? So right. I think that's why it's so important to educate in the space that you're in. So there's so many people who do credit repair and funding. I want to lead off by saying, and end the conversation by saying, like, what makes you guys different?
I say the fact that we, like you said, there's a lot of people in this space, but I feel like a lot of them don't care to actually educate and take it to that level, like making sure their people know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
Also, just knowing that, like, us being young, we want to speak to the younger audience and everything like that, as well as everybody, honestly, but we know that if you're young, 18, 19, 20, you don't have anything. So now it's like you have the whole future ahead of yourself, and the younger generation is what's going to transform, you know, our world to come moving forward.
No, that's absolutely correct.
Well, I'm 23. I started doing credit repair for 2-3 years, guys. Took a lot of L's, took small W's and everything. 23, funded myself 100,000 plus. Learned how to leverage debt, learned how to get out of it, learned how to put things on a different pedestal. All at my age and my time frame. Looking in, throughout, I think that what makes us truly different is not only that are we young, and we are young, but the fact that we have old souls. We have a lot of older people around us, all this and that and that and that. And then we have a lot of young people that want the same thing that we got. Yeah. So we balancing both on a different.
Yeah, so you got the knowledge of the people who came before you, so you can learn and maneuver through, things that they could have probably done better. But I love that you spoke to, even speaking to the younger generation too, because a lot of older people probably come to you to fix their credit because they didn't know what to do when they were younger. So it's kind of like giving people the opportunity for them to take the first step and make a better decision versus you go down this whole loophole of probably saying some stuff they didn't see, running up a whole bunch of stuff, busting an account, and then next thing you know, they trying to overcome that. So that's dope.
You already fried 5 of the best banks. Now you,
Now
you gotta get with the crowd, the other banks and stuff like that. Which nothing wrong with it, because there's thousands of banks out here. But it's like you don't want to jeopardize, the longevity of your life. We don't know when we'll go, but you don't want to jeopardize that trying to make some fast money when inevitably that account's don't.
I definitely had to learn that, like, just slowing down. Just in general in life, man. Like, sometimes when you slow down and, like, even when I get ready to buy something, like, I don't try to do impulsive buying. Yeah. Like, even by the time that I've made it into the store, I've probably considered purchasing something online. I probably consider the person, you know what I mean, before I do it. And like I had this rule, like where it's like if I can't afford this one thing 10 times over, I probably ain't gonna buy it. You know what I mean? But I wasn't always like that though, because you see a lump sum of money and you get into it, you just feel like it's never ending. But I think that my discipline financially came from making the wrong decisions.
Yeah, you gotta
Definitely.
earn most definitely. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. These mentors it's either they get y'all funding or whatever, they get y'all this, and they not telling y'all anything to do with it or how to move it or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's why we're gonna have. That's why we have special guests coming in, tell you what to do, how to flip the money and everything like that. And then on that scale, I tell everybody this. You could get funded for 100,000, 50,000, 40,000. You do not have to spend the money. Go to ChatGPT, type in your idea. Yeah. Okay, you can ask it, what's the percentage of my idea working out? If it's not 80% and above, don't do it. Do not do it, guys. Do not do it. And I know what you're thinking, like, okay, but now I got 30,000 in my account. Okay, you know what you do? You're gonna liquidate it. You're gonna put it back. I'm gonna show y'all how to scale and get more money from more banks. We go over that in the community, so you could scale. Okay, 50,000 wasn't enough for you. I understand. What about 60? Okay, that's not enough. 70. You keep building and building and building. Eventually, you get to a certain point. You get to that 250K, that 300K. I got 300K. I still don't know what to do. It's your choice, man. It's about what you want to do.
Everybody ain't meant to have to walk with your money now.
No,
Like, not to be like that, because I want everybody to be well off, but not everybody is meant to have the same amount of money, and they're not going to do the same thing with it.
They're not.
You know?
They're having a plan. And what I'll say, too, is, like, people don't hold themselves accountable. The accountability is the real issue when it comes down to it, because, like we said, like, we've invested in stuff and, you know, it didn't pan out, but it's like, whoop-de-doo, like, are we going to cry about it? Like, we made the decision, you could take something out of it and apply it, but at the same time, nobody held a gun to your head and told you to buy this.
Yeah.
Right.
You made that choice, whether it's impulsive and you got to work on that, or, you know, somebody persuaded you to, you still made the decision regardless. So that's one thing I realized, like, people, you know, young, old, nobody take accountability for their life at all. And it's like, if you're not doing that, then you're not in control of your life. If you can have somebody tell you what to do at all times, then what are you doing? Like,
You might well just trust God in that point.
Yeah.
It's already written, you know. Sometimes we just have the wrong people. We put the wrong people in the driver's seat, and we take passenger when we should really be drivers, you know. So that is a very, very good.
And I want to touch on one more thing, guys. I'm gonna be real with you guys. If you feel like you need to blow money or spend I need to spend 10,000, 20,000 here, everything, guys. All that means is that you got to work harder. I'm be real with you. That's all it means. Because I'm be real with you. Guys. I'm be real with you. I used to, I made what 7,000 in 1 month off of just doing DoorDash and Uber. That shit took hellas. Monday, sun up, sundown type shit. That shit took hellas. But it was accomplishable. If I do that shit 2 months, that's $14,000. You see what I'm saying? If you go on and so forth, guys. So if you really feel like you really need to blow some money, just keep hustling. Every time you think about spending some money, make some money.
not only that, dang, why I just lose that thought?
It's cool. We're gonna circle back to it.
Personality.
Oh no, work smarter, not harder.
That part.
Because like you said, sun up to sundown is probably a different way you could have did it. You probably could have teamed up with somebody, or people have to realize, like, if you have a strategy with everything you do, then you can make your life a lot easier without stressing yourself out over trying to hustle every single day. Because you hustling doing that sun up to sundown 7 days a week, when do you have time to live? Like, money's a tool, it's a resource. So it's like, as much as you need it to survive, because everything's inflating, everything's going up, you still gotta find time for peace for yourself.
Yeah, you gotta present yourself to the machine.
Yeah, and then travel, like, enjoy life. Like, that's what it's all about. Like,
I think too, another part that they always say work smarter, not harder, but what they don't mention is in order to learn how to adequately work smarter, you have to work harder first.
I was about to say that.
You gotta work harder for it. You gotta work harder. Like, even you learned, because you probably didn't know 7,000 in 1 month was attainable. You knew 4,000 once, because that's what you was making. You was making 25. You didn't know 7,000. That's an extra 3,000 over what you had originally. So once you learned 7,000 was attainable, now, hey, 10,000 might be attainable. Okay, boom, how do I do that? Okay, how many hours did I put in to make this 7,000? How many hours can I put in over here and make 2,000, 3,000 and maybe do 4 different things. Is that the same amount of time and energy? You got to weigh the pros and cons of everything that you do. Yeah. But I think that people get so caught on learning what is the easy way. That's where the instant gratification part comes. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to do it different ways. Like, even me, I done messed my credit up. I built it, messed it up, build it back again. You know what I mean? But I had to fuck it up the first time in order to learn how to not to fuck it up the second time. You know what I mean?
You feel me?
Yeah, that part.
And that's where it comes from. Listen. Strategy start, but like 1, 2, 3, guys. All right, look, you want to get to credit, you want to get into funding and everything. You get your funding, guys. You still don't know what to do with it. Okay, work harder. Maybe you need to work with extra hours and stuff until you figure out your idea. The fact that you work harder is going to prepare your mind to actually work smarter. You're going to want to do more. Now you want to get out the situation. You're like, all right, I'll work here 40, 50 hours a day. I'm making this money, but I got capital right here. And now while you building your business fund and everything, you getting more and more business funding. In your head, you're doing work. So now when you finally ready, you finally got the idea and everything, you're going to put the same amount of work into it. And if you put that same amount of work into that, it won't fail.
Yeah. I like that. I love this conversation, might I add. And I love the path that you guys are on as 2 black men, and young black men at that, who have overcome what you have overcome. So before we move into closing out the episode, I just want to pray with y'all again, just over your future endeavors, if that's cool. Yeah. Father God, I come to you as humbly again. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity for us to have this conversation, God. I just ask that you continue to keep these 2 men purpose and at peace. May everything that comes near their path, God, may it serve them, God, in their highest fashion. May they continue to learn and grow, God. May you keep their hearts pure. Keep love in all that they participate in. Keep their focus, God, and allow them to continue to be who they are in you, God, not anything else. Don't let them get lost in the sauce at any point, God. And should they veer off the path, God, I just pray that you redirect them in a real way. Keep them energized. Keep them preserved, God. Keep them whole, God. Keep them full. It's in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. In a real way.
For real, though. So as we close out the episode, man, I always like to, so we start with what you're grateful for. What is something that you want to let go? We're leaving it right here. Something that is not serving you that you want to let go of.
I honestly don't know. What do I want to let go? Dang, I want to let go of.
I feel like it's vague and it's like something that everybody should say. Look, procrastination.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say, dependent. Yeah. That's one thing I want to let go for real. I think I already kind of let it go. Me and him probably don't talk about it. He probably heard my voice a lot. But depending on other people, guys, that like y'all gotta let that factor go. Like you never want to depend on nobody. Even if I don't care if you pay somebody for you could pay somebody. You could be with them for years. It don't matter, guys. Stop depending on other people to come through. Okay, stop doing that. I don't care if I was like, yeah, I loaned you 500. I need that 500 by this time. Don't loan nothing back. Don't loan nothing out that you need right then and there, guys. Don't do any of that. The biggest thing that I want to go ahead, that's the biggest thing. When you go into anything, I don't care. All right, I need this done. I need that done. Be your own man and be your own man. Be your own person, because you can be a man or a woman. Yeah. Be your own person. And stand up on your own 2 feet. So when things don't go right, or they didn't give you that money back, or this didn't happen to come watch your kids or anything, or any of that, you okay?
Thanks. I dig that. Yeah. And I want to piggyback off of what both of you said. Like, I want to stop procrastinating to make decisions and where I can already trust myself. A lot of that comes from trauma of things not working out previously, and then feeling like, oh, what if I don't make the right move? I really want to let go of that for this new year and like really delve into trusting my growth. Another part of that too is I want to stop involving myself with people who aren't dependable.
There you go. Yeah.
I want to create and establish foundation and attachments that can stand the test of time.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I think that's about.
Because then you start getting mad at people. And it's like it you didn't have to choose to,
Facts, but it's like if I just properly leave at you from the beginning, expectations, it kill any relationship if they're not fulfilled. And so I want people who I can sit down and let's just say we lay it out on the line. I can tell you what I expect, you can tell me what you expect, and we have the capacity to deliver. Mm-hmm. And that's what's important. So listen, y'all, before we tune out, I want y'all to give them all y'all social handles. If there's any specials that you guys are around, and tell them where they can get in contact with you.
Okay. My Instagram is trust.tay2. TikTok same. Our business page on Instagram is Credit Capital Keys.
Yeah, oh yeah, my name is my Instagram name is The Real Unexpected. It's tattooed on me so you know it's real. You got it, The Real Unexpected and The Real Unexpected too, and that's on any platforms.
Excellent. Well, thank y'all so much for coming. I really do appreciate y'all conversation, and I hope that we can build in the future and circle back and see where y'all at in about, year, 2 years, 3 years, because I'm very excited to see what 2026 has in store for you guys.
Something crazy in March. Something crazy.
Listen,
Look,
we're going to tap in. We're going to tap in.
I gotta pull it out.
Look.
This off the podcast. Hold on. So we had this was like our second podcast. And I have not told nobody about this. I'm talking to Tay. I only talked to Tay about this. We pulled out these fortune cookies, right? And we looking like this gotta be scripted, but then I'm looking like only Tay knows. And I read the fortune cookie, right? And nobody else around the podcast will understand. They just looking right like what? I'm looking at him. He just look like, bruh, no, for real. And it says I said March is about to be a crazy month for us, bro. I said I just got it in my head that March is. I said I'm telling the visions, the things I'm seeing, and everything. I open the fortune cookie. It says March will bring new opportunities your way.
What? Yeah.
And then reach yours, bro.
And then mine say, your encouragement can mend broken hearts and wounded spirits. And most people tell me, like, talking to me and everything like that, I'm usually always positive. Yeah. And even though I might be going through the worst. That's why I asked you earlier about, like, how do you pour your cup? Because I'm kind of like, some people's therapist, whatever the case, like, people come to me. Event, and I'm always like positive. I'm always trying to figure out like a way to help you see something from a different perspective, so that you understand like this isn't the end all be all. Like life might suck right now, but it's worse. People are going through worse out there, and we have a new 24. Like you got to take action, for each and every single day that you're here and blessed to be here. So.
Yeah, no, that's dope though. That's dope though. Like I said, thank y'all so much for coming. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to this episode. Man, listen, boy just came in here and dropped some gems. I hope that y'all learned something. Shout out to the CK agency, man. They're responsible for all of our marketing at Where You See Big Energy Room in any room. Shout out to Slime Heart Productions, man. They the ones behind the camera, making sure it's crystal clear and you can hear us loud and clear. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing y'all on the next episode.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Dante.
My name is Lawrence. This is with CK, and we're here with Big Energy Podcast. Kayla in the building. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.